What's up, kids? Let's talk software tools, etc. So I'm sitting here doing a little bit of admin work, and I was noticing also in the community some people asking about billing and invoicing softwares. We get lots of questions about project management softwares, communication, collection, and management softwares. There's so many tools out there, right, that help us streamline so much that we do as coaches or agency owners, whatever role you're playing on any specific day. First of all, love, love, love the systems, right? So anytime you can find a system to help you save time, that is such a cool thing to do because you're just simply scaling your time. Time is the only limited resource you have. You can find a system that has a fixed cost to help you run an ongoing problem or streamline something that you're doing over and over and over again. Now, bringing in teams and staff and stuff like that to your work, that's also really helpful. But teams and staff members require an ongoing and expandable expense. So a system is a great way to help you get that stuff done faster and cheaper. What's up? Hey y'all, how you doing? Doing good. So good to see everybody. So here's the thing. Let's just talk. I'm going to pull this thing up so I can just see who I'm chatting at here. I know it's hard for me to it's hard to do that on StreamYard, right? Sometimes when you're pulling up in multiple channels, see who's jumping in there. Anyway, Pip, awesome to see you. So great to see you, Pip. So bottom line is, let's talk about these systems. Systems come and go, and systems will drive you crazy. And if you change systems all the time, you'll find yourself in a world of hurt. So here's my philosophy on system. It's Pip. Yay, it's Pip. I know. Pip, it's so good to see you. Here's my philosophy on system changes and implementation. And I'm going to start first by going down the implementation path. So from an implementation standpoint, anytime I've done something 3 times, I know that seems ridiculous, but I am constantly working with the rule of 3. I'm looking for the time I've done something 3 times. That way I can start changing my ways. If I've done something 3 times, that means I got a pattern, right? All of a sudden, I have something that really is important for me to look at and for me to really get my head around because I'm doing it a lot. And for me to do that a lot means that I'm wasting a lot of time, and I can be a lot smarter with that. I really gotta be smart with my time. Again, it's the only limited resource you have. And Pip, you give the best ad ice. Pip, you're awesome. By the way, I'm talking to the expert here. Pip is an amazing system person. She's an SEO expert and builds just incredible sites and does incredible SEO advising and has a mastermind that teaches all this stuff. She's just got brilliant system brain in her head. I wish I had that, Pip. Lucky you. So ultimately, I input a system in anything we're doing when it takes over something that me or my team are doing more than 3 times. All right. We're looking for that thing. We're looking for a way to make sure that we're not replicating what we do over and over and over. I love you too, Pip. So good to see you today. We're making sure that we do what we do over and over and over again. And if we're going to do it 3 times, we're going to give it to a system to do over and over again. You can't avoid some of those things, right? Sometimes you really have to go back and you have to do the work, right? You can't just ignore it. Okay. Looking for a tool and a system that gets my time back. If I have to pay, I'm just going to pick a price, $200 a month to find some software that saves me, let's just say, an hour a week. That's 4 hours a month of time that I've saved for $200. Let's just be simple about this, okay? That's $50 an hour is what it cost me to get that off of my plate. Now you say, Chris, you could hire someone to handle it for that. Yeah, but is it scalable? If I hire someone for less than that, eventually their time maxes out. It's going to cost me more than $50 to save myself 4 hours a month. The flip side of that is also I can make a lot more per hour than $50 per hour. So hand it off, right? You got to know your hourly rate. Even if you're like, Chris, I don't want to bill hourly. Just get an hourly rate in your head, folks. Get that. That's a good baseline number to know about you. Look at your past 6 months, 3 months, 12 months of production. Divide that by the number of hours that you worked. That's how much you make per hour, right? Meaning the gross number after expenses and everything. What did you actually make? What did you take home? That's how much you make per hour. Like it or hate it, that's the truth. You can increase that. You can make that better. You can do lots of things to get that number up. But ultimately, a system is cheaper than you are. So get a system. All right. I don't change systems. Let's get to the changing part here. I don't change systems unless there is a significant, and I like to use a 5, or I had another person, a friend of mine several years ago, say they use a 10x rule, unless there is a 10x increase in efficiency or productivity or communication strength or clarity of mind or something like that that makes it really compelling to change systems, right? Project and task management suites are a great example of this. It seems like every other month there's some new big project and task management suite that's all of a sudden all over everywhere, and everybody's reviewing it, everybody's talking about it. There's tons of ads showing up for it. How often are you going to change, folks? Getting work done is about execution, right? You need a deadline. You need to assign it to you or somebody else in your team. And you need a way to communicate about it. Ultimately, that's what it is, right? That's a project and task management suite. You got to have deadlines. You got to have communication, and it's got to be assigned to someone. If your project and task management suite can do that, you got one, right? How you organize it, is it visual or is it in more text format? Is it in little cards you can slide around? Or is it in a more of a task, click, 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 checkbox thing that's more traditional task list looking? That's up to you. What do you like? Pick the one you like. But changing 6 months from now, and then again 6 months later, and then again 6 months later, is spending a lot of time and getting really into the tool, not into what makes you productive and successful. Okay. I don't happen to be a car guy. Okay. I happen to love skateboards. So this is silly, but it's not silly, right? We're all do this in some form or fashion. I like love taking apart skateboards, putting them back together, cleaning them, setting them up in all different ways, riding them. I just love all that stuff. But I will spend sometimes as much time like tinkering with the skateboards. I have electric skateboards and like regular longboards and regular freestyle boards. I'll spend as much time tinkering with the skateboards as I do skating sometimes. Now, that doesn't make me a bad skater. That just makes me someone who loves skateboards and riding skateboards. But in business, if we spend as much time tinkering with the tool, with the skateboard of business, and less time riding it, we're not going to be very productive, right? In business, these tools are to help us move forward and get going. They're not there so we can spend all of our time working on the tool. So be careful with that. All right. So I change systems, or my team and I will upgrade a system. We will get a new, better, shinier, faster, cooler system. If that's billing and invoicing, if it's task and project management, if it's video editing, if it's managing social media posts or ads, whatever it is, we'll upgrade the tool if there is a very compelling reason that this will actually make us more productive and more profitable, or better communicating, or something like that. That's really important. I'm a fan of the 5X rule and that kind of stuff. So is it going to increase our profitability or our time or our communication by 5X? If it hits yes in any of those things, then I might say, yeah, we should do that. Now, on my team, several other people make a lot of those decisions, but they're constantly looking for those kind of improvements. Is it a significant improvement? Because it's going to take a lot of time and effort for you, me, our team, whoever, to relearn that process. Okay, upgrading your system. Let's just kind of talk upgrading versus complete changes. All right. So when to get a system, we talked about that. When to change systems, we talked about that. Upgrading. So when do I go from the $97 plan to the $300 plan or whatever? I upgrade honestly when the threshold that we're working in is met. So a simple CRM is a great example of that. The CRM costs $100 a month for your first 1,000 leads in there, and then once you get to 1,001, it's going to cost you $300, and then once you get to 15,000, it's going to cost you $500 or whatever. Right? Natural progression. Obviously, it's paying for itself. It's working out. But when it comes to just bells and whistles, like a video editing software or some audio editing software, something that's like, hey, this is the new version this year. Go ahead and lock it in at an extra, $1,000, whatever. We're pretty hesitant on that. That's not to save a penny, but we're hesitant on it because at some point I'm letting someone else drive my business decisions. If our video editing suite is doing a great job for the team that's using it, and they don't want the new features other than just to be geeks and hang out building the skateboard, not riding the skateboard, then we're not buying it. All right. If there's something there that's like, no, this is a significant difference and we would use those new tools, then we buy it. But again, it's got to be a reason that's not just, oh, this is the latest, greatest, but this will actually improve our performance. Video editing software is a great example of that because in my world, I'm not in the video editing space. A lot of people in this group are. They do done for you video editing services and they have masterminds teaching about video editing and how to be productive with that. Good for them. They want the latest, greatest. They need to make sure that the newest editing software, really helps them bring in their drone footage and 5 different camera angles and lines all that up automatically. And the algorithm balances all these little things out at one time. That's super cool for them. But for me and my team, we're talking head people, right? We're editing videos like this. And it's not as important to have all the super fancy features. If anything, I should just simply open this window a little more and get a little more light on my face. That solves a lot of problems, right? We're a pretty simple shop. So it's not needed. Even though it's fun to look through a new video editing suite, it's simply not going to be a productive move for me and my team. So we would hesitate on that. Hope that helps. CRMs, project task management suites, the billing and invoicing groups or suites, video editing, social media posts, social communication, housing systems and softwares. There's just so many of them out there. Find the one you like, make a hard decision. I know you're going to have to give up a few things to get a few things. Like, for instance, I'm using StreamYard right now. There's also Restream, right? Another company that does a really great job at this. There's Ecamm Live. There's all these different systems. And each one of those has its own unique pluses and minuses. I'm using StreamYard, and I probably won't change from StreamYard for quite a while. I've been using StreamYard for over a year now. It does what I need. I need a little banner down below. I want my name somewhere on the screen, and I want to be able to jump on multiple platforms. That's it. I also want a decent quality audio video download that we can reuse and repurpose for the future. That's us. If there was another program that offered me a significant increase in productivity, I would consider that. But for me, having slightly different shaped banners or a few cool transitions is me getting kind of distracted, geeking out on the software, the system, versus showing up and delivering content to you guys and answering your questions. That's my real job, right? It's not geeking out in the systems. Prospecting, selling, showing up, thinking, building a strategy, delivering real content, doing things that serves our communities. That's hard work, folks. It's really hard work, and it takes effort, and it makes us tired and sometimes emotionally exhausted. And it's really easy to let the systems take the place of some things we should be doing. It's kind of a way to coast some days. So you guys got this. Pick a system, a process, programs, tools, softwares, whatever that work for you, but make sure that the shiny object syndrome is not getting the best of you. There's so many cool toys out there. Pick the one you're going to use and use it. One last example to kind of bring this home. I love biking. What's up, Junaid? Good to see you, buddy. I love biking. Junaid, you're a road biker as well. Yeah, Junaid, actually, Junaid, you don't know this, but Junaid, like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, I saw your road bike in your studio. By the way, if you guys don't know what Junaid's studio is like, he builds insane cool studios and has tons of content on how to build the coolest in-home studio experiences ever. Like, go follow Junaid. Junaid, you had a road bike in the back of your studio 10 months ago. Dude, I freaking bought a road bike and joined a road bike team. Honestly, you were the inspiration of that. I should have told you that. Just finished 200-mile races over the past 2 weekends. Super fun. Thank you for the motivation. Really, really fun. So yes, sir. Love road biking. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. So anyway, where was I going with that? Your systems ultimately, last example here. In road biking, good example here. And Junaid, you know how this is. Anybody who's watched all those road bikers go by in the pelotons past your house or in your neighborhood or whatever, like 100 people driving by at one time. There's some freaking amazing, awesome bikes in those groups, right? Bikes that cost as much as your car. There's also some average bikes, and there's probably some crappy bikes. But what really makes the difference is the rider, all right? Somebody is showing up and putting in the training and putting in the miles, putting in the sprint work, putting in the hill work, putting in the long hours. That's what makes a good road biker a good road biker. the price of the bike and how much we obsess over the weight of every little sprocket, every little seat post, every little titanium screw that goes in the headset, all of that is a little bit ridiculous. It's a hobby. It's not biking, okay? It's clear that we should clarify in business that it's really important. Oh, thanks, Junaid. Super fun to ride that far, right? It's super important that in business we don't get distracted with the bike or the example I gave earlier, the skateboard. We got to do the work. Doing the work and getting the results is what gets us the distance and what gets us a great time and what gets us productive and profitable in business. So yeah. Let's see. The motor is what matters the most. Yeah, you are the motor. Junaid, well said. That's well said. I was hoping you were going to say, like, I could add an electric motor to my bike because I would prefer not to be the motor at some point. No, that's really true. We got to do the work to get the results, folks. It comes down to execution. Get the systems. As I said when I started this chat right here, we use a lot of systems. All right, systems are so critical. They save you a lot of time and can make you very productive. Pick one, get good at it, roll with it. If you pick one, you're like 2 weeks and you're like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Move on, burn the bridge, get another one. But ultimately, get a system, pick it, build it into your team and your structure, and go. And don't get distracted with the next, latest, greatest. Get focused on prospecting, selling, communication, relationships, the stuff that actually works. That's what matters. Okay. You kids are awesome. I'll talk to you all in a couple days. Ask questions. We'll load up more stuff here. Always here to help. You got an expertise level. You're a genius at something. You've put in the blood, sweat, and tears. Go teach it. Do your consulting gigs, do your done-for-you services, but as soon as you can, transition that to a group coaching program so you can get your life back and your time back. Dan, what's up, dude? It's good to see you, man. Take your expertise out there and do awesome stuff with it, folks. There's so many people who want what you've got. You might feel like you're not good enough or you don't quite know enough. You might be super experienced and have run dozens of your own mastermind groups over the years. But I tell you what, no matter how successful we get, we always keep coming back to just not feeling like what we have is good enough, the right idea enough. What if it doesn't work this time? What if I fail? What if it stops being ultra successful and it all backs up because I used to experience failure, now I don't, and now I'm scared that failure might come back. That's life, folks. We all get that. But you're the real deal. You've worked to learn and grow and change. Take that expertise, listen to what people want, and help them grow. They've probably already been asking you. When you see that trend pop up, you know you got something. All right, lean in and ask your questions. Let's get you going. Let's get you started. And let's do the work to get the results. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's where people turn out from being bike shoppers to being actual bikers, cyclists, like we talked about a minute ago. All right, talk soon, kids. Do the work, get the results.